Salam Aleikum. Welcome back to another video. It's been a bit of a gap between my last video and this one. But, yeah, such is life. You kind of get busy with other things. But, yeah, today's topic will be about cleansing your gaze. So, I am a Muslim man, and we are kind of advised to lower our gaze, and that tends to look like ensuring your eyes are not fixated on an individual of the opposite gender, just because you begin to you begin to do things in your brain when you're looking at someone that you are attracted to. So to combat that, you lower your gaze. But I wanted to talk about something about cleansing your gaze. So cleansing your gaze, I would define as basically attempting to clean the way you look at life. And this is not just looking at, if you're a woman looking at a man, if you're a man looking at women. This is at looking at life. I've been in nature, like sitting in nature, just being present and looking at the birds and at the trees, looking at the water. And at one point, I hated this. I don't know why. I never felt comfortable. But now I see the beauty of it. So in a sense, I've cleansed my gaze. So the best way to put it is you're basically looking at life from a different perspective with a new set of eyes. So the way I'm looking at nature is I appreciate it. The way I look at birds is I appreciate, the certain sounds that they create, or the way that they fly in the air, But cleansing your gaze isn't just looking at nature, it's also looking at your own life. So it's understanding what types of hardships that you're dealing with, and you look at it from a different perspective. Now, some may say that this is a very privileged way of thinking, but I'd say that you basically should try your best to always look at things in a different way, just so you can at least understand what different outcomes could come about. So let's say you are dealing with some relationship issues. The way that you might be approaching it and the way that you might be looking at it might be only allowing you to have a certain outcome. But if you look at it from a different perspective, right, you are able to assess it for, different factors that might be affecting that situation that you're in. And so you might be thinking, okay, now I can approach it in this manner and it will take me here. Or I can approach it in this manner and it can take me here, and vice versa in different areas. So that takes the ability to cleanse not just your gaze, also your mind. Maybe I might really explain it as cleansing your mind, because then your gaze will be cleansed as well. So, damn, I just changed the entire video halfway through the video. Okay, that's actually okay. That's actually perfect. So I probably say cleanse your mind, really. Okay, that actually makes more sense, because cleansing your gaze is only one thing. It's just viewing things. So it's actually interpreting everything differently. Okay, change a video in the middle of the video. Cleanse your mind. That's actually what it should be, because when you cleanse your mind, it's like you have a new way of looking at things. That's really what it is, because you're interpreting and understanding things in a different manner. So yeah, if I once thought I was bored in nature, now I have thought differently, because I have sort of had this new way of looking at nature. So yeah, it's technically cleansing my mind. Okay, I kind of like this. And yeah, it can also span to, again, cleansing your mind, lowering your gaze, cleansing your gaze. I'm just trying to put it together. If you're a man, this would basically be just know what you're looking at. Basically, that's like the basics. Look, it's not easy. Let me not get that. Let me get that out there right there. To be a good person, to like look at someone in a respectful way, It's not the easiest thing. In fact, it's like, especially if you live in Western countries, it's like, it's almost like it's provoked. Like like it's the looking at someone is almost provoked in a weird way. Like it's enticed. Like it's a created situation. Someone might be wearing something. Now I'm not gonna get into all that and say whether or not someone should wear certain things. All I'm trying to say is, if someone's wearing a certain type of clothing, you as a person are just going to look at them. Now, whether or not it's because they're wearing the clothing or because there's something going on there that's creating both of you to do something, which is someone's wearing a piece of clothing because they feel like it, and then you look at them because you are looking. So basically where I'm coming from is, hey, just always manage to keep your mind and your gaze cleansed, which is, let's say you were to look at that person. The first look, I would say, is calm, because maybe you were doing something and then you managed to look around and then you saw someone passing by who was wearing a certain type of clothing. The second, third, and fourth gaze, you know what you're doing. That's basically why I'm saying cleansing your gaze, cleansing your mind, fixing your mind, fixing your gaze, because it's changing the way you look and appreciate the world around you, because that person chose to wear that clothing. Are you going to now go and tell them, hey, you shouldn't be doing that because I'm looking at you? You're looking at them. Don't look at them. I understand that people will say, oh, well, it's not that. That's the point. That's why I'm saying it's like almost, it's like enticing. Like it's created to make you look. Like, again, I'm not going to lie. Some women, they look good, so you might want to look at them. But that's my point. Don't. The first gaze is fine. But the second to the third to the fourth, that's where you start doing crazy things in your own brain. And don't do it, man. Don't objectify people. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be doing all that stuff. But it can also be, in conversations with people, cleansing your mind, cleansing the way you approach situations. Could be, instead of having that sort of confrontational demeanor and approach to conversations, where it's as if someone says something, your instant reaction is to state how they have created a fallacy in their logic, or it's like you want to make it apparent to the person you're speaking to how wrong they are, right? Maybe that's the type of personality you have. You just like to pinpoint every error. Change that for a little bit. Just approach it differently, because maybe even if they might be wrong, they might end up saying something correct. Just because they came from the wrong angle doesn't mean they can't exit correctly. You know what I'm trying to say? So even in conversations, you can cleanse your mind, right? You can change the way you approach conversations and looking at things, because again, it's really for your benefit to just change the way you approach things, change the way you look at things. And it takes time. It's not something that just can happen overnight. I'd say that I'm very glad that I've been more aware of the way I act and the way I interpret and the way I carry myself, because it's just for my benefit, right? No one's out here telling me what to do. No one's out here showing me how to do it. It's just, I have to learn for myself, and that comes from mistakes. That comes from the good. You know what I'm saying? That's life. I'm gonna title the video "Cleansing Your Mind," and then it'll be "Cleanse Your Gaze" at the end there. But thank you for watching another video. I hope I'll be creating some more content soon, and take care.